Have you ever been too tired for intimacy, but deep down you still crave connection? Maybe it wasn't about sex. Maybe it was about wanting to feel held, seen, and close. Today, we're tackling one of the most common struggles married couples face: how to keep physical connection alive when exhaustion seems to run the show. This isn't about big romantic gestures or picture perfect date nights. It's about the small, sustainable practices that keep love burning even on your most tired nights. Because real marriages aren't lived on mountaintops, they're lived in the everyday, when careers, kids, and never ending to do lists steal your energy. Let's learn how to reignite intimacy right there. Welcome back, Uplifting Life partners, to the Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery Podcast. This is our Marriage Builder Sunday segment, where we focus on giving you practical tools to build, repair, and strengthen the foundation of your relationship. Our goal? To help you create a marriage that feels stronger, more joyful, and more resilient. I'm your host, Ron Simplified Myers, and together, let's ignite possibilities for your marriage. Let's start by addressing why intimacy often slips away. Between careers, parenting, finances, and constant notifications, we're left with little room for energy. And intimacy, it gets moved from essential to optional. That's when couples risk drifting into the roommate phase. Take a moment and think back. When was the last time exhaustion robbed you of closeness with your spouse? How did it impact you? Take Simone and Caleb. Simone works late, crashes into bed. Caleb reaches out, but she's too tired. He doesn't want to pressure her, so he stays quiet. But inside, he feels rejected. Neither of them is wrong, but the silence begins to create distance. Now, here's a delicate but important point. In some circles, there's still an expectation, spoken or unspoken, that a wife should always be ready when her husband wants intimacy. Some women even shame other women for saying no, as if exhaustion or emotional readiness doesn't matter. I want to be clear. Your body is not a bargaining chip, and honoring your limits is not rejection. Intimacy is about mutual willingness, not obligation. I've had women tell me they sometimes go along with sex, not because they want it, but because they feel they should. The emotional weight of that can be devastating. That's not connection. That's disconnection disguised as intimacy. The healthier path is honesty, saying, I'm not in the right headspace tonight, but I'd love to hold you close. Or, can we plan for tomorrow instead? That builds trust instead of resentment. And let me address another false narrative that does real damage. The idea that if a man isn't getting intimacy at home, he's forced to go somewhere else. That's not love, that's blame. Commitment doesn't disappear when circumstances change. My late wife battled cancer for 17 years, and for the last 10, intimacy was impossible. Not once did I consider stepping outside my marriage. Why? Because character keeps you faithful, not convenience. You don't cheat because of lack at home. You cheat because of a choice you make. I know this is a tough topic, but here's the heart of it. Exhaustion, physical limits, and emotional seasons are real. They don't have to destroy intimacy if we handle them with compassion and honesty. But if we ignore them, resentment can grow. And that's where the real danger begins. We often think intimacy requires long stretches of time, but your body and brain respond powerfully to short bursts of closeness. Just 30 to 90 seconds of touch can lower stress, release oxytocin, and create safety. Here are a few micro-touch ideas. Hug for 90 seconds before bed or leaving the house. Hold hands during TV or in the car. A kiss at the door that lasts 5 seconds longer than usual. Shoulder rubs while the coffee brews. A hand on your spouse's leg under the dinner table. One night, Simone said, even if I'm exhausted, I'd love a hug before we fall asleep. That single hug became their nightly ritual. Within a week, Caleb felt less distant because that hug reassured him she still wants closeness. What's one micro touch you could add tonight? A hug, a hand squeeze, or a kiss to say, I'm here without words? Understand when a partner's tired, big requests like, do you want to be intimate tonight, can feel overwhelming. The person being offered the request has a brain that hears that's going to take energy I don't have. Result? A no, which feels like rejection. Small invitations, on the other hand, are easy yeses. They open the door to connection. Here are a few ideas. Want to dance to one song in the kitchen? Would you rub my hand while we watch this show? Want to share a cup of tea before bed? Let's sit outside for 5 minutes and breathe together. Let's bring in Caleb and Simone. One evening, Caleb noticed Simone dragging after a long day. Instead of asking for intimacy, he said, want to dance to one song before we head upstairs? She laughed, said yes, and they swayed together. That 3-minute dance shifted the mood from heavy to light, and Caleb later said it felt like getting us back. So, what's one small playful invitation you could make this week that feels like an easy yes? In this process, let's recognize that one of the biggest intimacy killers isn't exhaustion. It's silence. When we don't name what we need, our spouse fills in the blanks with assumptions. She doesn't want me, or he's rejecting me. And if you are the partner that is tired, here's a key sentence you might want to use. I want to feel close, but here's the kind of connection I have energy for. Here are a few more examples. I don't have energy for more tonight, but I'd love to cuddle. Can we just hold hands and talk for a few minutes? I need rest, but a forehead kiss would mean a lot to me. I want connection. Can we plan something for tomorrow? Simone finally admitted, I want closeness, but I don't have the energy for intimacy. Can we just hold each other? Caleb didn't feel rejected. He felt included. That honesty turned distance into togetherness. As in all situations, the turning point in this conversation was the partner feeling safe to share how they truly feel and the other partner respecting boundaries. This is not about being right, but doing what's right to build a solid foundation, having open lines of communication. So right here, I want to share a simple 15-minute connection ritual that couples can practice. Start with micro touch, hug, hold hands, or sit close. Caleb and Simone begin with a 90-second hug. Offer a small invitation, a playful low-energy activity. Caleb says, want to play our song and then sway in the kitchen? Simone, yes. Name one need. Each share. Here's the closeness I have energy for, followed by what they have the energy for. For Simone, she says, I'd love to cuddle. Caleb says, I'd like a kiss and 5 minutes of pillow talk. Close with gratitude. Thank each other. Caleb says, thanks for dancing with me. Simone responds, thanks for asking gently. Again, the whole thing takes less than 15 minutes, but it builds safety, joy, and intimacy. Now we know in the real world there will be roadblocks, so let's troubleshoot them. Time crunch. Focus on daily micro rituals like a hug or hand squeeze. Negative self-talk. Replace the critic with compassion. Critic, why would he want me? I'm homely and exhausted. Reframe. He wants me because I'm me, worthy, lovable, and here. If your partner's not on board yet with your working on you at the moment, invite them in, but don't nag. Simone modeled nightly hugs until Caleb began initiating. If there's past shame or trauma, go slow, build safety step by step. Caleb asked, what touch feels safe tonight? And respected her pace. That's communication and creating a stronger bond. Well, as we know, life happens. So, when you're feeling out of balance in your thoughts, here's a quick reset to practice. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Place a hand on your chest and whisper, I want to feel close. And here's one small step I can take. Think of a hug, a dance, or holding hands. Tonight, share that with your spouse. So family, today we uncovered a hopeful truth. Intimacy doesn't fade because couples stop loving each other. It fades because busyness, silence, and exhaustion sneak in. But the good news? You can reignite intimacy with small, intentional choices. Micro moments of touch, small invitations, naming your needs without shame. These aren't about perfection, they're about presence. And presence is what keeps marriages alive. It's reflection time. What's one small way you can invite your spouse into closeness this week? What low energy ritual will you both commit to? A nightly cuddle, a forehead kiss, or sitting together before screens. Remember, intimacy isn't built on perfection. It's built on presence. One small step tonight could spark a new season of connection. Hug a little longer. Laugh over one song in the kitchen. Whisper honestly what closeness you have energy for. Those choices move marriages from exhausted to alive again. Thank you for joining me today on Marriage Builder Sunday. If this episode spoke to you, share it with your spouse or another couple who needs encouragement. We'll be back next week with another Marriage Builder Sunday episode. And don't forget, on Self-Love Wednesday, we'll explore practical ways to strengthen your personal journey of self-love. For more personal connection, join us on our Facebook podcast page. And for exclusive training, deeper dives, our app, and inspirational apparel, visit the information in the bio or simplifieduplifters.net. If today's episode added value to your life, please subscribe to the Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery podcast so you never miss an episode. Until next time, nurture your soul, protect your energy, be kind to yourself, and build the marriage of your dreams. And most importantly, remember this: you are extraordinary.